This summer, Chelsea have 49 players who have a chance of being in the first team that they need to make a decision about. And today, I'm going to put every one of those players in a tier list and tell you whether I want to keep, sell, or loan them. Just for that, hello everyone, welcome to Oz Talks Chelsea. This channel will have everything Chelsea. We'll have match previews, match reviews, big talking points, maybe a Chelsea podcast in the future. Everything Chelsea will be here. I've been fortunate enough to grow a massive community over on TikTok with my Chelsea page, nearly 30,000 of you over there. And I want to come over here onto YouTube and make a bigger impact, bigger community as possible and more long form content. So if you're looking forward to joining this community, joining the journey, make sure to hit like on this video and hit subscribe. Anyway, let's get on with it. I think the best way to start tackling this is going with the goalkeepers. So we're going to go with my number one next season, and that is going to be Georgia Petrovic, straight into the keep. I think he's going to be our number one keeper. I think he's been absolutely fantastic on loan at Strasbourg. I think he was really solid last season, and I felt really safe with him in goal. But at Strasbourg, he's developed so much more. He's now a player that can play so well out with his feet, out from the back, and that's the reason why I think he's going to be our starting keeper next season. Now, moving into our number two, I think Jorgensen is the guy that I want as number two. So I'm going to put him there as the number two. I think he's a really good keeper. I think he has a lot of potential. I think he's a lot better than Sanchez. I think there's a lot of room there for him to be a really good number two. And then our number three is going to be the main man, Bettinelli. He's just perfect as a number three goalkeeper. He's never really going to play, and he's good for the squad. I think he's good as a leader in the dressing room from things that I've heard. Now, moving on. Let's go to our number one, this keeper, Robert Sanchez. You're going in the cell, my friend. I just have no interest in seeing this guy continuously in a Chelsea shirt. He makes too many errors. He upsets me on quite a regular weekly basis, and it's just not what I want to see fundamentally. Moving on, more into the cell pile, we're going to move on to Kepa Arrizabalaga. Now, thank you for some of your service, mate, but I honestly think we need to have a conversation whether Kepa is actually worse than the Sanchez and Jorgensens of this world, because he has just tormented me throughout my life as a Chelsea fan. So he has to go into that sell category without a doubt for me. Now, we have some of the other keepers. Now, we're going to move on to Penders. Now, this guy, I think he's going to be the new Thibaut Courtois. He's an absolute freak. He's a giant. He's huge. And I think he's going to have massive potential for Chelsea. I think we have to send him on loan, because he's got that huge potential and he's very young. I think the three keepers that I've got there are my perfect 1, 2, and 3 for next season. And I think he needs to have a loan, really develop himself, and maybe in the next couple of years he can look to try and fight for that number one spot. And with our final keeper, Bergstrom, I think it's going to be tricky, because I think we've got loan development in Penders looking towards pushing for the first team. I don't think he is looking like the kind of man that can push towards that. So I don't really see the point in loaning and developing him. I think it's better to try and cash something in and maybe sell him. It might be harsh, but that's what I'm doing with our keepers. We're keeping 3, we're loaning 1, and we're selling 3. Now we've got the goalkeepers out of the way. I think the best port of call is to move towards what I think will be the starting 11 out of the players we've got already, and I'm going to put them in the keep pile because I think they're worth starting, worth keeping, and they're going to be brilliant players. So we're just moving through the team. Marc Cucurella, first of all, is going straight into the keep. This guy is genuinely incredible, and I don't think it's too far to say that he is the best left back in the world. He's definitely up there. I think he's the best left back in the Premier League. He's so consistent to us. We rely on him almost too much for a left back. He's so good defensively, so good in the midfield, and he's so good attacking wise. And we're really seeing start to finish some chances recently, which I've absolutely loved. Moving into the centre back positions, I think we've got to be looking at Wesley Fofana there, a fantastic player. And if he can try and keep out of injuries, that would be incredible, because he is so good. And when he's playing, he really lifts other players, like the other centre-back, which is going to be Levi Colwill, which I can just search for somewhere amongst there. There he is, big boy Levi. I think Levi is massively overhated by the Chelsea fan base. I think he's a fantastic player, so much potential. And if he's used right and with more confidence, he can become such a good player. I think he needs to calm down his temperament a bit. He gets a bit angry, but overall, I think he's a brilliant, stunning player. And then moving to right back, it's got to be my boy, the captain, the main man. It's Reece James. He's going to be right back. I know Enzo Maresca has said that he's moving towards a more midfield option, but I think in this kind of team and the way we're doing it today in this tier list, I think we need to consider him as a right back. Moving into the midfield, of course, we've got Caicedo. This guy, in my honest opinion, is Chelsea's absolute best player currently. He is stunning. He's incredible. He's world class. With Rodri injured, he's the best midfielder in the Premier League without a shadow of a doubt. He's so consistent, and if we can keep this guy, I know he's signed a long contract, but when we keep this guy, he will be the middle of the pitch, the person that just is that spine for us, that kind of like, not Frank Lampard because they're very dissimilar players, but he's just going to continue being Chelsea's player and just progress so well throughout, and he's just world class. I absolutely love him. Moises Caicedo, honestly, you're just the go. And then his partner in crime is going to be Enzo Fernandez, straight into the keep pile. What a player he is. I think he's really starting to flourish, really starting to get better, move into better positions. And I really like him when he joins kind of Palmer in that secondary 10 role, which is absolutely fantastic. Speaking of the man himself, Cole Palmer in you go. Obviously, he's in the keep pile. I wouldn't dream of loaning or selling him because he is a perfect player for Chelsea, and we absolutely love you, Cole Palmer. Keep doing your magic. Don't worry too much, guys, about this drop in form. I mean, we're going to have players like Madueke and Jackson back, and he's just going to raise Cole Palmer. And getting back to the Cole Palmer we know. Now, moving to that left-hand side, I'll put Pedro Neto in. I think he's definitely a keep. For me, he's someone that's very versatile. We've now seen that he can play up front, he can do interesting things, move around. He has just so much pace, so much energy, and that's something that could be really good. He's also an experienced player, which I definitely want to keep maintain in that Chelsea squad. Now, moving to the right wing position, it's my boy. Now, if you watch me on TikTok, you know this guy's my favourite player. And now, if you watch me on YouTube, you will know I absolutely adore him. It's Noni Madueke. This guy is so good, so underrated. He's so direct, and I absolutely love him. And for that reason, he has to stay in the Chelsea team. We need to keep him. I don't care about other right wingers coming in. He's going to be our starter right winger next season, without question or doubt. So, striker, obviously, it has to be the boy, Nicholas Jackson. Now, I know people are wanting us to sign other strikers, and I fully understand that. But he is a really good striker, and he's a really good player for Chelsea Football Club. Regardless if we want to sign a big player like Isaac or a kind of smaller player like Delap, he will still be in the Chelsea team, and he still needs to stay at Chelsea. He doesn't need to go on a loan to develop, and we don't need to sell him for money. He's absolutely fantastic, and I wouldn't want him playing for any other club. So that's kind of like the keep starting 11 we have, and then we've got the goalkeepers. Let's move on to the rest of the players. Next up, we have Tosin, and Tosin for me is an absolute keep. I think he is one of the best kind of third or fourth choice centre-backs you could possibly want. If you want depth in your squad as we hopefully move into the Champions League and we're pushing towards the higher ends of the Premier League, he's the exact kind of character you want in your squad as that kind of backup centre-back, but also he's a great leadership. He's got age on his side. I think he's a fantastic player and something that I definitely want to keep in the squad. Badiashile is a really difficult one for me because when he's good, he actually can be a really good centre-back. When he's bad, it's really, really bad. I think the thing that makes me want to keep him is the fact that he's left-footed. He's a left-sided centre-back, and as a backup for Colwell, I think that's really good. I think there is so much potential there. I don't think it's worth selling yet, but he's very 50-50 for me. He goes into the keep for me just by the skin of his teeth. Malo Gusto is next, and he's going in the keep. I think he's an unbelievable backup for Reece James. And he's an option. If Reece James is playing midfield, we can have him at right back. He is fundamentally a really, really good footballer and a really good right back. I think people forget how young this guy is. He's got so much talent, so much ability. And yes, he isn't as good currently when it's not overlapping centre-backs and overlapping full-backs, which he was so good under Pochettino with. But now, I think he's just brilliant to have as Reece James' backup or as starting right back when Reece James moves into the midfield. Now, Josh Achiampong is someone, I think we have so many centre-backs currently, so many more experienced ones. I think Josh Achiampong could do with a loan, and I think it would be absolutely fantastic for his development. I think he's shown he's a really good player that could play at centre-back, right centre-back, or even right back. I think the perfect loan for him would be either a really high-up Championship team that just misses coming to the Premier League, or one of the newly promoted Premier League teams that come in that will be fighting relegation. I think would be brilliant. Really bolster him up, get him physical, and hopefully he can be a great Chelsea player to come in the future because he has absolute bags of talent. Next up is going to be Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Now, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, wowzers, he is a tricky one for me. I'm not sure entirely that we could sell him for as much money as we want. So I think the best port of call is to loan him to a Premier League club, get that money up, because he will play incredibly for another Premier League club. If there's about 14 teams in the Premier League that he would be really good for, loan him to one of them, show his talent in the next season, and then they will buy him for more money. I genuinely think that's the best port of call with Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Next up, we have Kellyman. It was a weird one. He was kind of bought for PSR reasons, and he's been injured and out of form. I think he might be injured again. Really unfortunate for him. I have no interest in seeing him in the Chelsea team in the future years to come. I just don't believe he's that good. We just bought him for a little deal that we did. I think it has to be sold. Try and get just a little bit of money for him. It doesn't really matter. Just get him off the books. He's someone that we don't need to worry about. Romeo Lavia is absolutely going in the keep pile. He's an incredible player. If he was fit consistently, he would be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League and one of the best young midfielders in the world. He is truly incredible when he's fit. The issue is he's not consistently fit. It's really annoying. Hopefully next season he can be more fit, because then our midfield depth and midfield options would be genuinely sensational. Now, Mudryk, I'm going to put him into the sell, and I'm going to give you a little word about him. When the fact that I don't really care that he hasn't been playing and he's been banned for whatever he's done doesn't really matter to me. It's just such a clear sign that I don't care about the results. Like if if he comes back, I haven't missed him. I haven't thought once, oh God, I wish we had Mudryk. He would be so good right now. He'd be such a game changer. For me, he's just not that guy. And I think it was just a risk that we did so Arsenal couldn't get him. Hasn't paid off. He's not good enough. And yeah, depending on what the outcome of the substance stuff is, either sell him or just try and shift him in somewhere or the other, because he shouldn't be at Chelsea Football Club, in my opinion. That might be a hot take. In Nkunku, I'm going to go for sell. I think he has enough stock, enough kind of career proof in the Bundesliga that he could still get a good amount of money. I don't think we'll make profit. I don't think we'll break even on him, but we could still make a good chunk of money from him. He needs to go. He'll be brilliant at someone like Manchester United or another big club, but at Chelsea, I just don't see room for him to be a player that we need for the long-term basis. Jadon Sancho is next. This is a tricky one. The options are we keep him and we pay 25 mil for him, or we pay about 5 to 10 million to send him back to Man United, who we've got him on loan. I think it's going to be a sell for me. I know that might be harsh, but I honestly think it's actually just the best bit of business. If we think about it fundamentally, that's £5 million not to sign him for £25 million. So are we saving 20 million in there? I know that's kind of boy maths, but that's just the way I'm looking at it, because I don't think he's shown enough to me that he wants to play for Chelsea enough. He has the heart to play for Chelsea enough, and he has the ability. When it's good, he looks really good. But when a little thing isn't going well for the team or anyone around him, he's just not good enough, and he's just not Chelsea level of Myers. So I think he has to go, and we need to look at a left winger in the transfer market in the summer. Speaking of left wingers, we've got Tyreek George. Now, I absolutely love him, and I think he's brilliant, but just like Josh Achiampong, I think George has to have a loan out, and I think a low Premier League team or a really high Championship team would be absolutely fantastic for him. I think if he could bulk up, get him used to more physical games, I think he'll be brilliant. I just don't think next season, the way we want to go, I don't think him being there is just useful for him or the club. I think he needs to go progress, score loads of goals, start every game, and just be fantastic. I'm kind of thinking like when we sent Amari Hutchinson to Ipswich, that was unbelievable for him. Obviously, he's gone to Ipswich, but he was a really good player that could have played for Chelsea. So I think that's the play with him. Now, we got Mark Gu here. I just think it's going to be a loan from me. I think there is potential there in the future for sure. He's been really good as a bit of a backup for Nicholas Jackson, and in the Conference League, I've really enjoyed watching him. I just don't think he's going to be looking to be a starter. I think we're going to bring in more strikers, more attacking threat, and I think it'd be a waste for him, and he should go progress at another club on loan, and then maybe come back to Chelsea and see what we can do there. But nevertheless, a very, very good player. Moving on to the main man, Trevor Chalobah. Now, I know the club will probably want to sell him, probably want to loan him. I'm going to put him in keep. Now, I would like Trevor Chalobah to stay because he's a common boy. I absolutely love him, and he is a really good centre-back, and he's good enough here. My only fear is that we'll come to the end of the list and we'll probably have too many centre-backs, so we might have to sell one. But for me, I'm keeping Trev because I think he's brilliant and he's very useful. But if we were to get a really high offer for him, I think the club will take it. So that'll be that. Ansel Mino, I think he's a very promising centre-back with a good future, but I think it's a loan. Get him developed, get him moving, and get him playing good football, because I think he can be really good, and I've heard fantastic things about him. Fofana is next, not the centre-back, the striker, and he is going to get sold. I think his time at Chelsea Football Club have come to the end of the road. I think he's a really good player, really smart, and it just hasn't worked out for him. I think he had a loan at Burnley, which he scored a screamer, but I think that was about it. He needs to just go to some club. I reckon a Serie A club will pick him up, and he'll just start banging goals, but there isn't a line of progression for him at Chelsea Football Club, in my eyes. That might sound harsh. Next up, we have a Mugu, and that is the easiest loan I'll ever do. He is going to be going to Strasbourg like Santos was last season. I think he's going to progress fantastically there. He's got a lot of potential as a player, but it's a clear loan. He's nowhere near ready to be in the Chelsea team or squad or starting at all, so he has to go on loan to progress. Speaking of Santos, here he is, and he's straight in the keep. I think he's going to be a fantastic midfield option. I think him and Enzo Fernandez can massively rotate, hopefully in the Champions League and the Premier League. They're two players that are really, really good in that kind of 8, but like advancing as well. He's a brilliant player. He's been unbelievable at Strasbourg as well as Petrovic, and then he's such a good player that I really want to keep, and I'm so excited to see him next season at Chelsea. Alfie Gilchrist, this one is going to be painful to say. I think we've got to sell Alfie Gilchrist. Now, I know I've said this on TikTok, and a lot of people gave me absolute grief for it, but he might just have to go. I love him. I love how much he loves Chelsea. He's an actual Chelsea fan, which is just so nice to see at Chelsea Football Club. But he is not good enough to break through at Chelsea as a right back or a centre back, which he is. He grew up being a centre back, so we should treat him like a centre back. I've shown you so many centre backs that we're keeping. I just can't see the progression for him to join Chelsea squad, and that's really sad. But I really hope he goes to a lower Premier League team or a high Championship team and really bosses it for the rest of his career. But I just can't see it being at Chelsea. We have Leslie Ugachukwu, and that's going in the keep for me. I think having him as midfield depth as the kind of 6, for me, I see that 6 role, Caicedo, Lavia and then Ugachukwu, and then the midfield 8 role as kind of Enzo Fernandez and Santos. I think that's the kind of 5 in the 8 and the 6 role that I want to see. I think Ugachukwu could be really crucial in those Champions League games, in the Premier League games, in the Cups, and I think he played really well for some parts of Southampton's season. Armando Broja is next, and I feel really sad about this. He is a sell for me. I thought last season he was going to be incredible because of what I saw before his injury. It turns out that injury affected him too much, and he's just not the same player he is anymore. He can't seem to stay fit for a really long time. He has fantastic technique and technical ability. I just think he needs to go down to a lower team, restart his career, maybe go out abroad to Serie A or something like that. He has a lot of potential, but not at Chelsea Football Club, and that really saddens me to say. Next up, we have a controversial one. It's Raheem Sterling. It's not that controversial. We're going to sell him. I mean, it'll be hard to sell him with the wages. We might have to do a loan and then with an obligation to buy or something like that. But Raheem Sterling, he's failed at Chelsea. He's failed at Arsenal. He's no longer the man that he used to be. Maybe he should leave football before football he leaves him. I don't know. Anyway, and next up is going to be Renato Vega. Now, he's a really interesting one for me. I'm going to keep him because I think he's valuable. I think he supplies some good backup to Cucurella at left back, and he's a centre back. It's just hard for me because do we send him on another loan? Because he clearly can't handle not being the starting centre-back, but he's a fantastic player fundamentally. It's really tricky, but I'm going to move him to the keep for now. I think that's the best port of call. Next up, we have Wiley. I think he's got great potential for the future. I'm going to put him in the loan section. I think he needs another couple of seasons of loans, really develop, and then he can come into that Chelsea squad and really push at the fullback position. He is a good player, but it's just there isn't a pathway for him directly into the team right now. So I think a loan has to be the option. Carney Chukwuemeka is up next, and it's just really unfortunate. This guy bags the potential, but I think there's salary issues. He was kind of signed before the wage structure was really put in, so they kind of want to offload him. I think he'll be fantastic somewhere else, but I just don't think Chelsea is the option for him. And after him performing in Dortmund this season, I think the best port of call is to sell him and just try and get some cash back. That's really fundamentally what we have to do. Ben Chilwell, another sad one. It's sell. Goodbye, pal. Hopefully we can get some decent money off you to another Premier League team. He's on really high wages, and he doesn't, as a left back, fit the system. He has to go. It's savage. This football world is business at the end of the day. He's got to go. End of. Axel Disasi. I think he will be incredible for a team like Aston Villa or any team lower down, and we have to sell him for that exact reason. I think, honestly, he overhated at Chelsea, but the issue at Chelsea, he doesn't fit the system as a centre-back at Chelsea, but at teams like... The reason why he's playing well at Villa and why Villa fans love him is because they defend so much deeper than Chelsea do, and he's such a good in-the-box defender. So he will go on loan, hopefully. João Felix for me. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, you know my feelings are very strong about him. It's going to be a sell. I never wanted him to come back to Chelsea. I just didn't understand it. I didn't see a route for him to play in the first team. He would never get in above Cole Palmer. I think he's quite an underwhelming player, in fact. I think he's all look very pretty, but just when it comes to it, there is no end product there, and you can see why he's struggling at AC Milan now. Next up, we have David Washington. He's a bit of a weird one for me. I think, controversial opinion maybe, that we should sell him. I just don't think I see the value in him staying at Chelsea or going on loan. I don't see a route for him into the first team. Now, he might be great, and I might not know enough about him, but in my eyes, I just see, as a striker, it being so hard for him to ever get into the Chelsea team. Moving on to Estavio, this guy is in the keep. He is going to come to the Premier League, and I'm so excited because he's absolutely killing it. He's looking like an absolute monster in the Brazilian league, but I do need to warn you, he might not be as good in the Premier League. When he comes, he's going to struggle to really adapt in the first season. That's why I think Noni Madueke is going to be our starting right winger, and he will be kind of the backup, learn off Madueke, and just slowly get introduced in. He's not going to get in the first team every single game. That's not going to happen. He's not going to perform like he is in Brazil in the Premier League, but he's very, 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 very exciting for the future. Moving on, we have Paez. Now, Paez is an interesting one, kind of similar to Estavio. I don't think he's ready to go into the main team yet. I think I'm going to try and push him on another loan to really, really just finesse his skills and really adapt, because I just don't think... it's useful for him to be out on loan, him to be at Chelsea, for Chelsea and for him. I think loan is the best for him. One more season, really become that absolute boss of a player, maybe in a more physical league, and then come into the Premier League. Next up, we have Mamadou Sarr. I think another loan for him. I don't think he can come into the Chelsea team anytime soon, and I think another loan would be absolutely fantastic for him. Now, Esugu, we recently signed him from the Portuguese league, of course. It's a very tricky one. I'm not entirely sure what to do with him. I think the best port of call is to maybe keep him and have him just really just kind of in those cup games, those bottom cup games, really trying to adapt. I think we're running out of loan space at some point here, and I think we need to keep one really young player just to rotate in some of the cup games, the lower Champions League games. But yeah, that's the list there. We've got a lot of players in the list. In fact, we've got 23 players in that keep squad. Now, if we keep those 23 players and then sign 2 or 3 more. That is the Premier League squad that we've got on our hands for next season. That's a squad that I'm very, very excited for. If you watched till the end, make sure to hit subscribe and up the Chelsea.